What's up, everybody? My name is Blaze. I'm a cinematographer here, St. Petersburg, Florida. 23 years old, and I've had this channel that you're watching the video on for, I don't know, probably about like 5 or 6 years now. I realized that, one, I had never shown my face on it, and two, I haven't really seriously been posting on it kind of ever. So that's why we're here today. I made a promise to myself starting in 2026 that I was going to document my life more and focus on, building my personal brand, as everyone says. So yeah, I love making videos like this, and I don't know why I haven't up until now. But yeah, now I have the time to do so with my schedule and everything and what I'm doing for work. So I'm going to get into all of that. But yeah, what's up? I'm glad you're here, and I'm excited to share kind of where I've been the past 5 years. So right now it's February 6th of 2026. I kind of want to jump back 5 years almost to the day. Let's see, summer of 2020. I graduated high school, enrolled at UCF. I'm from Sarasota, Florida. So just to give you kind of an idea of where that's at, Southwest Florida, and decided to go to UCF. A grand total of 6 months, I think, before dropping out. I knew the entire time that I didn't want to be there. It was the middle of COVID. Nothing against UCF either. I interned there and met some awesome people: Julian Bright, Ashton Boss, Boss. I don't know exactly how you say it, but Ashton, you're my guy. Dalton Conrad, just like so many awesome people there. And really got to get my feet wet in the college athletics space. Because before that, I was just working at home, freelancing, using the connections I had from playing high school sports. So I was doing stuff for basketball players in the area, little coaches I knew, going to training sessions, stuff like that. This was my first taste of college football. I filmed some basketball while I was there, some volleyball. So it was really cool to get that experience. But about 5 years ago, almost to the day, is when I dropped out. Dropped out of college, decided to kind of just, bet on myself. It was kind of, it was a really hard decision to make, but at the same time, I had so much peace with it because two things. One, I knew that the Lord had a plan for me, and, it's kind of funny to think that dropping out was that decision, but I guess in the world's view of everything. But for me, it made total sense. And then two, I just knew that I wanted to bet on myself and go all in on what I was passionate about. And that's videography, sports specifically. So ended up dropping out in the spring of 2021, and then kind of just freelanced for basically an entire year. So had a bunch of connections, ended up, if you go on my page, you'll see, I did a mini football docuseries. I was making little to no money. I was living at home, moved back home after dropping out. Thankfully, my mom let me live with her, and my family was super supportive through the whole thing. And especially once things started kind of working out and I was getting more jobs and just getting some momentum going, it was really, really cool. But yeah, I think I dropped out with less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. Not a ton of experience. I was 19, almost probably just turned 19. And had no real plan, but just besides to make it happen, So spring of 2022, I got in touch with the creative director at USF at the time, Cody Hilburn. And he basically set me up to be able to intern for USF football. So interned for USF football, worked there for really just the spring. And I would just drive up from Sarasota to Tampa. It's an hour. So I'd just drive up a few days a week, film practice. He gave me some gear, which I thought was awesome. But that was really outside of UCF. I'd say USF for that spring was my real first taste of college athletics and being part of a football team, and really cemented for me, okay, that's where I want my career to go. That's what I want to do. I was confident in my reel, and I wanted to start applying for jobs. I felt my reel was good enough to where I could start applying for some entry level jobs in college, and maybe something would hit. So I think I only applied for a few jobs. I don't even remember specifically what they were, but one of them was a role with Florida State University that I was super underqualified for. And that's kind of a point I want to make in this video, is like, I was super underqualified for the position I applied for, but it got my reel, my resume, everything into the hands of the person doing the hiring, emailed me back and was like, hey, we actually found someone for the role you applied for, but there is a role that we haven't even opened to the public yet that I think you'd be a great fit for. So as I'm applying for jobs, he sends me this back. Florida State's my absolute dream school. Been a fan since I was, for as long as I can remember. And it was all because I applied for a job that I was underqualified for. And it just happened. It kind of just, the door opened right up for me. About a year and a half after dropping out, I got my first job in college athletics for my dream school, which is just insane. That even talking to people now, like I feel like I didn't really comprehend that in the moment. I was 20 years old. I don't have a college degree. I don't even have an AA. I have nothing. Working at Florida State for basically a full calendar year. That was the year that football went 10-3. We won the Cheez-It Bowl. And yeah, it was awesome. That was kind of like the coming out year to set up for the 13-0 year the following year. So it was really cool to experience that. But ended up having to leave Florida State. Some things in my department just weren't really going in the right direction. I felt like I wasn't being utilized as much as I should be. So whatever. Now I'm 21. It's the summer of 2023. And, I go on School Sparks or whatever. And Wake Forest is, opening a job. And I had talked with Chris Fowler, who's a good buddy of mine now. I had talked with him over DM and stuff during baseball season. And he was texting me about it. I asked him about the position because I saw it open. And he's like, yeah, dude, I think you'd be a great fit. Like, let me know if you have any questions, whatever. I ended up applying, and long story short, got the job. So I was 21 in the summer of 2023, and I ended up moving to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So for my second full-time job in college athletics, went to work for Wake Forest, and it was awesome. It was definitely what I needed after leaving Florida State. Like, it was a night and day difference with just like how things were run, how we were treated, and just like I can't say enough good things about Wake. Towards the tail end of it, I was really just wanting to get back home. Missed my family. My whole family's in Sarasota. My whole family's in Florida. So it felt like I was just so separated from everything living in North Carolina, and missing holidays and birthdays, and grandparents are getting old, brothers are growing up. When I left Wake Forest, I was 23, because I was there for 2 years, so still 23. Left Wake in June of 2025, and again, was just kind of like, you know what? I want to bet on myself. I want to go full-time freelance. I want to do this thing. Like, I felt like I'm confident enough now in not only my work, but like my connections that I have from college athletics that, I can actually make some real money doing this. North Carolina was great, and it was fun to experience. I got to snowboard a lot and live in a different state, and it was awesome. But for me, I was just ready to get back home, and was kind of ready to get out of the full-time college athletics space. Like, I had been working in it full-time for 3 years, and just like traveling a lot and working long hours and truthfully not getting paid a ton. I was ready to make a step out on my own. I lived at home from June to November, and I was full-time freelance at that point, and was making pretty good money, thankfully. And yeah, now we're here. It's, like I said, February of 2026, turn 24 next month, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's probably super hard to follow on the video, so I apologize. But I just wanted to kind of give a rundown of like what the last 5 years of my life has looked like. And if it feels like a whirlwind on video, it's felt like a whirlwind in my personal life. Like, I feel like I haven't really settled anywhere. I feel like everywhere I've been is kind of just like I'm there for a little bit and then it's on to the next thing. So hopefully with where I'm at now gives me a little more stability and longevity creatively, life-wise, everything. As of January 1st, I came on as a co-owner of Creative Juice Agency, which I'm super stoked about. It's been awesome working with my business partners, Kyle and Nathan. We are a sports creative, content agency, working specifically with athletes, building their personal brands. And yeah, it's been an absolute blast. We have a huge roster of athletes that we're doing stuff for. And I'm super excited, specifically for baseball season to come around. So I'll probably make more videos when we get to that point. But if you know me from Instagram, if you've followed this channel before, whatever the case may be, if you're here, I'm glad you're here. And I hope that you enjoyed a little bit of my story. If you have any questions about really anything, about, it could be my life, it could be about work I do, it could be about networking, it could be about anything. Leave a comment, shoot me a DM, Shot by Blaze, whatever it is. I love connecting with you guys and just helping out in any way that I can. Because, I was once that 18, 19, 20-year-old creative that was kind of lost and didn't really know what direction to go. It's crazy that 5 years ago I dropped out, and I've worked at 2 different universities in that time and just traveled all over the place. And yeah, it's a dream. But all that to say, it's possible. Whatever your dream is, especially if it's videography or sports videography, or like you want to be a DP, whatever it is, like you can make it happen. You just have to put the work in. Like you can't cheat the work. And also everyone's path is different. Like if you look on social media and you're just scrolling all the time and you see people in positions that you want to be in, like your time is coming. Mine was very soon, and it kind of threw me for a loop how fast it all happened. But that might not be your story. Like you might be someone, like it might take you a little longer to get to where you want to go. You may go through all 4 years of university and not be able to find a job right away. And like, that's okay, man. Whatever your dream is, just have that attitude of like, I'm going to make it happen. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone thinks. Anyway, I'm rambling on now, but I just wanted to get on here and, for you guys to put a face to all the other videos on my channel. I look forward to doing more content like this in the future. I think that's all we got for now. See y'all in the next one.